And greetings, everyone. Welcome to another exciting stream from Amsterdam. We're here, of course, getting ready to figure out how to deal with all of these villagers that we have. We have them organized over there, as you can see, arrayed so that they don't zombify one another. And we need to redo this iron golem run, right? This free roam iron farm. Now, some of my concerns here, right, are that we have we got these beds here, right? And so we could just come in and try to restack them all, right? We also, of course, now have an opportunity to redo this entire platform, right? This method definitely works, you know. Not the most efficient, but it does what it needs to do. It also does not need to be 4 wide. We just did that because of water things, yeah? I think we're gonna have to make a creative copy of this real quick, chat. Because there's a lot to do, plan, and scheme, right? I don't know what all these are about. Oh, these iron farms, chat. We've made so many iron farms. There's always a new way to do it, though, right? Har har har. I mean, admittedly, we have not exercised too many of them, but we'll figure out how to get this free range one free ranging, right? I teleport at S. Oh wait, oh we need to do we not teleport? What? What? Come on now. This is a pretty good chunk too, if anyone wanted in on it. It's this way. We also need to finish building that thing, right? I'm excited to do some planning in creative for that. More around it anyway. Get some of the other things we need going for it. That's for sure, for sure. Planning and plotting, plotting and planning, right? Because we moved the beds, right? Oh, this hasn't done that yet. I see, I see. Okay, so, you know, something we gotta deal with is how the water flows, right? So we'd have to, like, move this all in by one, yeah? Theoretically, the 12 by 12 should do a decent amount of spawning by itself, from what I've learned. We don't really need all of this extra space, right? It is very much for decorative purposes. And so I don't know if we want to focus on just making one spot in the middle. If so, we'll probably have to redo the beds, right? That just seems like the easiest. And it do be easy enough to get them there, right? Interesting watering corner, huh? Sponge, sponge, sponge. And so, of course, theoretically, any of these beds, right, will be the center bed of the village. Until we just make this platform smaller, it should be a little better, right? I want to say it's a 12 by 12 that does it. Give me just a sec. Because it goes from like a 96 to, I think the numbers say 99%, which would be pretty cool. DVD. "11 by 11 is 99.6% efficient." That's interesting. 11 by 11, huh? That's tiny, chat. 99.996% efficient? I mean, the source I'm seeing that from is very reputable, right? But I don't doubt it. I don't doubt their accuracy. It seems really odd that an 11 by 11 is going to be that good for spawn rates, right? So yeah, I think we're just going to redo the entire thing we got going on, right? Because we can go 3 more from these sides, right? Just to get the water where we need to. As we see on this one, right? Because here it's not about efficiency. But if we can make a smaller footprint for the beds, that's pretty cool, right? Or do we just leave it, kind of mostly as is, right? As our first, like, iron farm in this realm, right? I do feel like I want a smaller footprint for the beds, at least. The one thing, of course, about having them out a little more, right, is that you run into the problem of, the farm being a little less efficient, right? Because it takes longer to kill them. Could takes them longer to get the lava blade. Very curious. Just lopsided to be different. Admittedly, these don't need to be 8, right? Because with the elevation change, a new bit of water will form. We'll only go 12 by 12, of course, right? I really wish my TikTok chat worked in the dealio. One day, chat. I mean, we could just keep the same spawn platform shape, right? And just go with the, whatchamacallit, change on, the bed placement, per se. Although, of course, the bed placement change, right? That'll require a little much of villager juggling, yeah. Yabba 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 do. I don't know how we'll figure that out, chat. We do want the run to be big enough for the villagers to go down, right? And if that's the case, we want the entire farm to be big enough to cover all of it. Like, it would feel really weird to take some of the stuff out now, it having been up here for so long, right? But I would want to work on getting a better pattern for the blocks while we're up here, right? But it do be a little rough. I guess it all depends on how we want the things to be situated, right? And we can only build more stuff around it too if we want need, yeah? Having the iron farm be kind of small is kind of sad. Um, like, we're not really okay having it that small, are we? And are we really gonna change the edge at which it sticks out at? I'm not opposed to that, but like, is this really gonna be a chat? It could be, it could be. I just, again, I feel, I really liked it when it was a little more covering of the thingy, you know, of the villager run, right? And we might have to build that back down again. That does feel really odd there, huh? We def like a little more oversized, right? Okay, and so do we want that but going in that way, or do we want it going out that way, right? I think probably depending on how tall we make this thing, right? Want to go this way with it. Okay, so either way, these are a little too long on each side, right? But that's okay. Um, just because I'm thinking that we kind of want to centralize a lot of the stuff around here, right? But then if that's so, having the stick off the other side could totally work like that, right? Um, I don't know how that would go though. I think it'd be fairly clean. Hmm, that's a problem, right? Do we feel like connecting those up there? The other problem, of course, is that this is completely inefficient for actually farming stuff, right? But that's neither here nor there, chat. That's neither here nor there. Lander. Hmm. How would we feel about that? These extra little side bits are a little squirrely, and we can always cover them up if we want, right? That's one of the problems, huh, chat? If the bed does shift from one of those, or to one of those center ones, this is too far out, yeah? That feels really odd at that point, though, doesn't it? Hmm. I don't think we want two elevated portions, right? Yeah, okay, that's a little too far out, I think. We'd want a little more over here, though, then, wouldn't we? Doesn't really make much sense to have that up just a little bit there, does it? For the aesthetics. Yeah, I don't know, chat. We feel like that's an okay shape for the iron farm. I feel like we should actually block blocks, huh? Oh my. I guess we're doing deep slate, not black stones, huh? Because reasons? Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Feeling a little less enthused about it, right? I do like it better than just a square, but I don't think we're quite at the shape we want, right? Mm. So of course, the corners are always funny, right? Yeah, I don't know, chat. I mean, the water shouldn't be any problem for flowing, right? That's interesting. That wasn't supposed to form a water source there. Come on now. Interesting. Hmm. Interesting, chat. Yeah, okay, this is turning out to be, I think more annoying than is worth, right? Was an idea though, right? That's definitely a problem though. Look at how awkward some of these currents are, right? Hmm. Oh, that's a little cursed, huh? Interesting. That probably has to be 3 wide too then to get that in as far as that goes. Hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we just need to make this easier shape. Yeah, this corner here is not what we wanted, right? That's weird that that decided to turn into a water source. Huh. Like there should be no water. Um. Okay, so yeah, we can make it happen. You know, you put it in the corners. You Do some things. Make sure you don't get too squirrely with it. Squirrels, chat. Look out for the squirrels. Aw. What do iron golems look like? Hmm. Intuitive. For some. For me, not so much. Oh my gosh. No, I'm kind of in the middle of playing a game. I don't know why you'd expect me to try typing at you in chat. That's squirrely. Oof, that got turned into water source, huh? Weird. So again, we'll maybe try corners and like every other one? Oof. Oof. Standing water. Yikes. Not what we wanted, huh? Yeah, that seems more reasonable, right? Unless they get stuck in those things, that would be rough. I don't know why that's so not moving, you know? Mm. Okay, I think that one's just getting bounced out, right? Okay, so how do we feel about a structure like that, right? I think making most of the... I feel like we almost mirrored those dimensions on this side, right? But that one did not work, huh? Intriguing. Maybe it's because of distance from the hole. Oh, no, we definitely got some issues here, huh? Interesting. Like, why is it so turbulent right there that they're not getting pushed into it, right? That shouldn't have made a water source, I would think. But here we are, right? Intriguing. Hmm. So I guess we just need to move the side in one, right? And that should actually solve all the issues, I think. How neat would that be? Sorry, we got very confused there. Okay, okay. Interesting. Okay, yeah, moving in definitely helped that out, huh? Unsurprisingly. Now we've got these good corners leading right to it, right? It is going to be a little awkward as we have to redo all of the beds, I think, huh? That's a little unfortunate, huh? Okay, it's going in now. The items aren't dropping, which is rough. We can only just move the hole in the lava over, right? That's no biggie. That's interesting that it comes over there, though, huh? We're just gonna try and move it over here. Interesting. Oh, that is one sadness, though, right? Doing this way, we have to put something in the hole, right? We can just put a sign on the wall. It's no biggie. Even a trap door down there would work, or not a trap door, but we'll just do one of these for now. I think, right? Oh, we forgot the lava, didn't we? Oops. That might help. The Burning Nation. I feel like most items should go down. Okay, and so there's definitely a thought of having a villager prime, if you will, and having the bed completely just tied to them, right? Because we get to do that through locking them in place and just like a minecart, setting them up somewhere, right? Um, I think that setting them in water's not quite as reliable anymore as it once was. I'm not positive on that, but we'll definitely think about some stuff along those lines, chat. Hmm. Sorry, we're having some sizing issues with our Delia, which is unfortunate. 'Cause I don't feel like it should be acting up like this at the moment, given what we have in the things, but do be a little squirrely, and that be okay, I guess. We're just trying to get some more real estate, if that makes sense. Yo, there we go. Lovely, lovely. Now that we're no longer rocking out a vertical canvas. Love to see it, chat. Cool. Okay, so how do we feel about that, right? I feel small. I feel small now, but it's effective, right? I do feel like we should be making golems now, though, right? Because these cuties should still be tied to these beds. Until that, I don't understand so much, right? I also don't know if we're going to be happy with this platform as it is, yeah? Dang, where'd the villagers go, chat? I thought the villager egg would be pretty easy to find. But I guess not. And that's... Oh, ha, hee hee. Like, these should still allow it to work, you know? One gold helmet to rule them all. That's silly. Oh, not that way, little bro. Come on now. Like, that's what oh, we're getting cats down here. Oh, because the platform is now that size. I get it, chat. I think I want to turn all the villagers again, right? And then set up one of these as the lead so the bed doesn't move, right? Like, as long as the villager run fits in the footprint of the iron farm, right? Or at least has non-spawnable blocks on it. We'll be good in the top part, right? We'll be good to go with it. Because if not, of course, the, thing will just want to be spawned in there, right? Okay, so we need to be big enough, to cover this area, right? So I guess we gotta figure out how wide is, the, like, thinnest we want it to be across, right? I think 4 across is about as thin as we want. We need at least 5 across for going up and down it, yeah? And so we're just gonna be doing a spiral down? Like, do we want to all just kind of be spirally? I think a problem with that could be the spawning of stuff along the way, right? We're gonna, of course, try making the beds a little bit smaller. And if we just take them out and leave, one, we should be good. Like, even though they're all the way up there, right, they're still relinking to the bed because of the algorithms, right? Okay, the one problem, though, is we want to leave a top bed, right? That's intriguing. Seems like breaking some beds reset them, huh? Curious there, chat. So, the basics, right? Um, Not a good place to make, huh? Hee hee hee. We don't need to worry about those villagers linking to here, which is cool. I don't know if we're going to worry about trying to figure out stacking just yet, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So, right, theoretically, this is the platform we want to go with? The problem, of course, you can only do like one spiral under an 11 by 11, right? And if we want to do two spirals going out, right? It would need to diverge in like the middle, yeah? Weird. Is that 11 by 11? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Thought I felt a little off. Oh, I guess we should see what an 11 by 11 circle looks like, huh, chat? That'll help give us an idea of where we're going with it, yeah? That is not the prettiest, huh? I think we might try for 13 just because. 12 not bad, but 13 gives us like a middle point, right? Which I think can be good if we're trying to direct iron somewhere, yeah? Direct drops and whatnot. The problem with this, of course, right, is that we there's no real problem. So yeah, that's gonna be like the easiest, I think, to fit in by 11 by 11, right? And okay, so like right here is the cusp of where we can try to go up and down, yeah? Like in its simplest form, right? Mm. That might be one problem, right? It's got such a variation in distance for when it needs to go up, right? So this only needs to go up one for the outside needing to go up how many? Yoink. Yeah, that's gonna. This. Oh, chat. I don't think I like the idea of this just yet, huh? Hmm. I don't know if we just started out with stairs, maybe? The other problem is I think we want a little more than just one level at a time, right? I don't think that'll give them enough really space to run yet. I don't think we're really making like a spiral staircase. I don't know, chat. I do think we might need a little more room just to make it happen. 11 by 11 is tiny, right? How big do we have here? That's like a 17 by 17-ish. And so what if we did go 17 by 17, right? And just had the thing like large and underneath, right? How much do we want the villager run to follow the footprint, right, of the iron farm? Because we could make a donut iron farm, you know, nothing against making a round iron farm. Maybe we gotta try a different world. Give me just a sec, chat. I'm sorry, we do be a little bit tired. We've been getting way too deep into Magic lately. That's a nice, respectable looking circle, isn't it, chat? And so, are we committed to just making it up there, right? 'Cause if so, that should be pretty easy, right? this be like the baseline of that, right? Bonk, 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 bonk. Uh-oh. Bro. Beep, beep. Oh my. Yeah, that doesn't feel quite right, does it, chat? It's right for the middle bit. Hmm. That's gonna lead to a problem, right? Of this side just being that much higher, and the middle bit not being able to really catch up. Which will be bad, of course, because, you know, at that point villagers will be falling off. Which is exactly what we don't want, right? But, you know, I can definitely see how we want, like, this half incremental approach to it. And so that's not really gonna work, right? Yeah, okay, so... I can see why we have it round in spots and then just go down, huh? Well, you know, we've got a basic spiral like this, right? Got a deeper spiral like this. I think we can do it like this. It's so odd how you can't place stairs off the back of each other like that. Hmm. Okay, how do we do that before, chat? Do we have them turn this way? That wouldn't work for that one, right? Hmm. One of my problems too is I don't remember where we did it before, right? Oh, is it just like that? I could see that. And we can put another one off the edge of it, right, for funsies? To just round it out a bit? For the funsies, chat. Yeah, sorry we do be a little tired and not able to place blocks as quickly as we would like. Hmm. Interesting. That doesn't feel quite right, does it? That feels a little better. Still maybe not quite the best, huh? How do we do it before, chat? Okay, that one, yeah, that, I wonder how tired we are, chat. I can't remember where we practiced this before. Because spiraling stairways is always fun for me. More spirals, more stairs, chat. Onward and upward. Oh, we did plank, plank. Oh no, okay, that's it. We have it so you can't really get up there too much, but you don't notice catching on it because you just get up on that thing. Okay, okay. Oh wow, that took a lot of decoration, huh? But yeah, just be chill with the slabs and slope them up, huh? Nice, nice, nice. Um, that one's not so good. Yar, okay. And so how do we make these bigger, right? Oh my gosh. Oh. Hmm. Okay, it's pretty much just like that, huh? Wait, no, it's not. Hmm. But something like that? We probably should have taken a picture, huh? We have no idea how we did it. That looked good though. It looked good. And that's the thing, you know. I don't have to do it again, chat. Or it looked okay enough to, go with again. And we had remembered that it was like this. I guess we had not accepted the fact yet that it's not going to be the cleanest to walk on per se. Maybe we actually can place the stairs on the back side of them. I don't think we can though, right? Oh, nice. Wow, yeah, our aims and our clickies are a little off. How did we do that, chat? Hmm. Very easily, with much ease, we did that, huh? With much ease. That's not how that goes. Hmm. Hmm. And so we want it 5 across minimally, right? Oh, wait, then it's got an entire middle thing we. 12 happy beds. That's a 24 bed block, right? 3 of them, of course, get you 72. 4, yeah, anywho. How do we feel about 96? 96 is a good number, right? Especially because they're all, it's a nice symmetrical hole. And of course, we build it bigger, right? And then we've got to consider, the spawning area, right? From here. We don't need to worry about going out of here, though, right? If we make sure that one villager is still locked that. We just need to go, 8 away from each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we only got not much room around the thing, right? Five. Mm. Okay, so it's how much? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So yeah, this whole thing should be 17 by 17, right? What does 17 by 17 circle look like, yeah? We're on the 17, aren't we? And so we could have the top part be a bit. But then here it starts getting really squirrely, right? Start entering that country chat. Oh, that's right. This is the center point, not the hole. Not the hole, chat. That is important to remember, huh? I think anyway. Wait a second. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Okay, so we said that was right. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Okay, okay. That's the center. Which is why moving up an elevation there kind of makes sense, right? Only kind of, though, it feels, you know? But I think this is, like kind of base one-way spiral. Basic, right? That which we draw inspiration from. Noise. Noise. I'm gonna look a little funny like that, right? But it do be what you gotta do to try to get that shape we're looking for, right? At least the elevation change we're hoping. Hmm. Yeah, I think it would help if we did the diagonals from here. That wasn't looking too bad what we had there, but I don't think it was lined up. And again, we don't want it to be like perfectly symmetrical when we're finishing the build, but figuring out what the perfectly symmetrical bit looks like, right, will be very useful to us. Planning out builds, how wacky was that, chat? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. We don't really need the bed. One, two, three, four, five, six. Right? They're just there to help us see where things are. Okay, so it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dang. If I had more weight, we would have totally done the Pythagoras theorem there to figure it out, chat. Trust. We would have had a practical use for it in Minecraft. How neat would that be, right? Go Pythagoras. So it's very much a right triangle that we're trying to get. Hypotenuse. Okay, but yeah, regardless, right? This is going to be the important part that we need to remember to footprint into, right? Wow, these pale oak are a little more than I thought they were. I guess we should have just gone with birch. Birch is such a happy, like, I don't know, not as sharp. Has a much warmer tone, I want to say. And so yeah, we're trying to do some buildy stuff, right? We gotta decide also where we want to do the steppy up part, right? I mean, it doesn't matter that much as soon as we decide, right? As long as we keep it consistent, it should look okay. Or again, we could try making it look a little less consistent in some spots by purposefully doing it another way, right? Okay, so we're saying that's on the DLDL. One problem doing it this way, of course, is that we won't actually really see a distinction in the colors, I hope. I don't think anyway, we might, depending on how we do it all. Do it all dim and low. Like, do we go higher with this? I don't think this is the worst. Hmm. I mean, it's kind of working, right? We're moving on up. Like, not quite ideal yet, but you know, we're still figuring out, chat. Still figuring out how to play this game. Sorry about that. Pretty new to it, you know? Well, one of those statements is true. We're still trying to figure it out. Not really new, though. Feel like it, though, often. Oftentimes we feel noob. Boom, boom, boom. Oh my. Indeed, it do be like that, doesn't it, chat? Awkward times. What? Wait a sec. I'm so confused. Okay, less confused. There we go. And so, how do we feel about that, chat? Does that feel like it's enough space to run in? Feels like there could be less space for sure. I'm also not a villager. I do not know what expectations are. Were there any expectations set up for them? Through prior villagership, you know? You know the rules, and so do I. I mean, they've got some room to run. It's not the most, though, huh? There's definitely some head bonkage going on. And then we gotta decide if we can take a chunk out of the middle, right? I think we might call today a short stream again, though, just because we're feeling a little tired, chat. I'm sorry about that. We really need to get a better schedule. Any type of schedule, actually, I guess, huh? Har har har. Our sleep's been so jacked. So jacked. Doobie, what a doobie, though. In that I'm not alone in that, I believe. What is sleep, chat? Yeah, and this feels like it's a little too low, right? Like, I appreciate how well it fit in stuff like that, but like, I do feel a little low in that regard, right? We want some more head clearance, if that makes sense. More spiral, more stair, more slope. Easy peasy, chat. And so we don't like it like this, right? We should definitely think of another way to do it, yeah? Yeah. Yeah, that is not pleasing, chat. So do we really want to try 2 elevation changes between each? That does make it harder to get the sloped effect, right? Mm. I think I'm gonna actually call it here, chat. I'm so tired right now, my apologies. And we got an okay bit done. Like, I know where I want to be with it, and I know where we're trying to go with it, which is cool, right? The problem is that right now I'm not quite pleased with the outlook, and I'm a little tired to like build this all over again. Just a little taller right now, right? we'll do it. We'll do it. We'll do it though. We'll do it. Like we don't need all of that other stuff in, right? We're deciding 17 by 17, working on a spiral up, and then we'll see what we want to change from there, right? Let's try to get some blocks we're more jiving with, though, right? I did like how it stands out nicely against it, right? Because that's kind of something we're looking for to make sure that we could get it in a proper understanding, if that makes sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice. I'll go bop, bop, beep, 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 boop, boop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Beep, beep, boop, boop, boop. Beep, beep, boop, 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 boop. Beep, beep. Oh, not like that. Yikes. And that's what I mean, chat. We should not be missing these. We're just so uncoordinated right now that our clicks are not clicking. Okay, cool. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. We got a hole. We should probably do it with spruce, right? Because that'll go better with a dark oak, but that's okay. Okay. And so we're gonna try doing it 2 between? 2 in each? Intriguing, chat. Doobie, what a doobie. Let's of course work on quad secting? Octa-secting it, right? Not to be confused with an octopus, but cutting it into 8, right? So as opposed to quadrisect or bisect. Trisect, right? Quintuple sect. Sextuple sect. I think it's sextuple. I don't quite remember that one. Yeah, we got this little squirrely bit right in the middle, doing all that middling bits, as I do be. And so we're saying that we want to, okay, no, that's changing 2 elevations between each, right? Are we saying we really want to try going up another elevation in between each? I don't think that'll work too well, right, chat? I'm pretty sure that that's gonna kind of be the limit of what we can get with that, right? Because otherwise we'll have to like split it up again, you know? And we do not, blocks do not split that well. Cubes do not split that well. Okay, so I do think now looking at it that we are going to be locked into something like that, right? Just because of how, whatchamacallits go. Wow, this really does not matter the blocks we're using for this. I'm sorry, chat. I mean, it's easier for me to pick them out and just think what we need to. Like a paint by numbers, you know? Yeah, okay, because again, if we try to do that too high, right? That's just not going to look right. Unless we try doing it out there, but then we get in that, like, squirreliness of it not meeting up as well as we would like it to. And I'm not sure we're down to deal with that, right? We already kinda are, right? With the, huh. Interesting, chat. I mean, pretty much we would need to create another line of blocks, like, this way, right? Which is very sketch. Although that was really close, I think, what we saw right there, right? Like, we'd want it radiating out from here, yeah? Yeah, we'd probably just want that there to make it more even to run up, right? Interesting, chat. That's not the worst shape, but a little awkward seeming, right? Hmm. I mean, because that really would not be the worst, right? The middle part could get a little messy, though, right? We wouldn't want that. Hmm. Yeah, that's not going to quite work, is it? And so I think we'll just have to. Oh, but that's a problem if we play it by ear each time, right? How will we connect them all up in the long run? Is it really going to be something this basic? And then how do we get the other offshoot going, right? We don't really have enough room to run another one underneath, right? So it's just going to be like one big spiral? It's not the worst. We want to keep it 17 by 17-ish. Yeah, okay. A doobie what a doobie, chat. That just makes more sense to run it like that. Just because of how much easier it is to pick out the shape. Which is nice, you know? You don't want to be hard to pick out shapes, I think, in Minecraft. You want to be like, oh, that's what I'm looking at. Nice. At least for me, you know? Nice. Okay, so yeah, we'll just do it like that, right? Going with the up. Up, up, up. Up, 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 up. And yeah, it'll look, a lot better without the glaringly different blocks. Wow, we can't remember which button to place or destroy. Okay, cool. Cool. I mean, well, it looks kind of, not really that detailed or like moving. The fact that it's got a nice spiral going to it and it doesn't look that busy, I think says something. This part will be a little tricky to get up down though, right? Like, do we have to run stairs on the outside of them? I feel like that might have to be a thing, chat. Indeed. Many stairs, huh? Well, that's okay. Totes want some like this? Totes, yikes. I don't like how flat this is over here, right? But there's not much we can do about that. Just because of the way that, geometry works, chat. Shapes. Shapes are cool, but a circle is a circle. It do be what it do be. Indubitably. Bum. And now the question is, do we make the, or do we just replace the corners with the, replace the edges with these cuties? Do we stare into the abyss, chat, so it stares back at us? And we go up. So we can go up. Oh no, that works bad there, doesn't it? Yeah, it do. Yeah, it do, chat. Or do it? Maybe it don't. Maybe a doobie do. Maybe a doobity do. I said a doobity do. Interesting. It does, of course, mean, I mean, I think, it's still going to be the same amount of stairs, right? The only thing that's going to change is where it looks like they are. Which, I mean, it's not that big a deal, right? Depending on, because it's just going to be the same spiral going up, right? It's not like the staircase is going to move, the vertical clearance is going to have, the rise or run's going to change. Just depend on how we want these things situated. Situation. Don't. That's the problem with changing those blocks out, right, chat? We completely forgot where our center was. We have lost our center. Yikes. Yikerino. A yikeroo. That feels like it should be a taller one, right? But maybe these corner ones need to be those. All the way to the edge, yeah. Oh, it's got that. Oh. Is that the deal? Is that the deal we're missing? That doesn't seem right, chat. That does not seem right. Okay, so, and what we had before I think works. What we have now, chat, we'll just call it here. We are settling on the fact that if it's gonna be one spiral, it's gotta be one spiral, right? We might be able to cut something out the middle. to take things up and down away, right? The problem doing that, of course, that villagers will fall. They'll take damage. They'll suffer. And then we'll have to make more. So the other thing is we could have it flatten out at a spot, right? And then have that be like a inflection point. But then the problem is, right? How do we get the thing down? And so do we do it by how many workstations we want to ram in there, right? Because that could be another way we figure out how to plan it. Like come into a flat area. That's sad though, right? It's only 5. And then we have them branch out and go another way just because it's so small. We'd like flatten that area out and then start the elevation later. And just have like a hole where they're going down. Holy, holy, oh. Holy. Holy cow, look at them villagers go. Bum, 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 bum. I mean, we could. We gotta prevent them from falling down this way, of course, though, right? Which would be rails and banisters, which means we would need to make it 6 wide, yeah? Although on these corners we have how much room? We have 8, right? Okay, cool. So, we have 8 wide on the corners, chat. That could totally be a thing. Give me just a second. That gives us a lot more room to play with, right? Or at least, almost half again. Just under, since it's an odd number, right? Because we got a swamp that's 8 wide. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's maybe 3 thick, right? Okay, so that's kind of like the area we have to work with, right? Except we're going down in this way? Okay, yeah, it's plenty of room, right? So 2 wide works, and we can just have railings on it, yeah? Boop, beep. Cool beans, chat. That's not too shabby at all, is it? Not too shabby. Okay, wait, do villagers take damage if they fall that far, though? I definitely picked them, like, going boop, right? And that's not even tall enough to get underneath, huh? That's unfortunate, chat. Height and clearance are important. Because now we're getting out of containment, right? Because this is supposed to be like right here, yeah? Or of course we can make an area flat, right? It does not need to go up in elevation if we don't want it to. and make it as flat as we want for as long as we want, right? It does not need to go up until we tell it to. Blah, blah, blah. So this could all just be a flat area, right? Little plateau, you know? Or again, a switching place, right? Where things can go up and down. A switching place. This could be a little rough. So of course we need to make sure we got clearance. And we do not, right? Put something like that, right? And then we're underneath. And I mean, I guess there's an okay amount of space for them to run around in, right? But then how and why do we keep this up from here, and then how do they not hit their heads on it, right? When running up. It'd have to be like another little flat space by itself, right? Because yeah, there's no making it around here now, yeah? Dang, I don't think we'll be able to really put another stairway in through stuff. Unless we make like a mini spiral going down some way, right? But that wouldn't make much sense. Unless we had it be like a special thing. It'd need to be a 5x5, so take up like an entire thing, right? Unless we make it bigger than 17 by 17, you know? Or we could always slap the spiral stairway on the side of it if we wanted. Sorry, I thought that we would have a little more planning done. The one problem too, right? The 17 by 17 footprint we're looking for is like about 2/3 the area of the last one. And so I think maybe we can have it maybe widen out as it goes further away from the last bed, right? But only those top bits that are still in the Y spawn radius need to be under the platform. How much a radius do the beds take up? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they're 7 by 7? That's not too bad. So of course the 17th circle only has 10 usable squares on each side. I think 20... I mean, I don't think 19 is bad, right? 19 is not the best. Ooh, 21 is not that good. 20 actually seemed better. 25. 25 is a sweet spot, chat. 25 do be quite the adventure, though, huh? Quite the undertaking, yeah. 7, you say? Because the one problem, too, with that, right, is that we have to, redo the whatchamacallit, right? We'll have to maybe rethink up the, size of the spawning floor. This is my kind of circle, chat. Just simple, easy counting. Okay, and we got it wrong. We can't count simply. Weird. Oh, okay. Well, that shouldn't do it all, right? Are we a little short on this side? That's a much happier circle, huh? Well, I mean, than some of the other smaller ones, right? Close-ish, right? Oh, oops. So this is no biggie. Does it look too wide, though? Without much depth, dimension, or changing going on, chat? I'm unsure. What do you think? I don't think it should be okay, especially if there's a bunch of villagers running around doing villager things, right? Villagers doing villager things. Could help a wee bit. Mm. I feel okay about this, chat. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right? I do think we might want to go by. Are we really going to go for the 21 by 21? That seems a little excessive, doesn't it, chat? It's got a good shape to it. Don't get me wrong. Big fan of the shape, Scott. But 21 by 21 seems a little large. Gosh. Summertime and the living's easy. Deep 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 deep. A deep a deep. A doop a doop. A deep a deep a deep. Deep deep deep. A doop a doop 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 doop. Oh my. Yeah, chat. Okay, so I think something like this, right? Um, we'll have to figure out the iron golem, golem spawning platform on top of this, right? But this does make me feel a little better for a full-on villager run. Let them, do their thing. Live their little villager life as best they can. We're not going to wall them off, of course, but, we will have some fence perimeter for surely sure. Okay, cool. And so, this gives us opportunity to do some decorating, give them some more room. So we'll base it on a 17 by 17 circle. Iron Golem spawning, or not a 17 by 17, but a 21 by 21? 25 by 25, chat. Yikes. And so what does 17 by 17 look like in here, right? One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, 17 by 17 is not that bad, right? The one problem, of course, that we've got the overhang, right? By 4 on each side. And so what do we think about starting out as a 17 and widening it out as it goes down more? We could start the top as a 17 by 17, chat. Doesn't even start out that big, right? Like, we just need to buy the beds. And so if we, okay, yeah, if we taper out bigger as it goes down further away, that gives us a lot more opportunity to play with it, right? And we can just totally start with it in like a 17 by 17 or whatever extra little bits and bobs we want to do on the edges of it. We can also then tailor the little spiral we have starting, right? I mean, I could start in the middle and then spiral out, right? Instead of having to start on the outside. What would that look like, chat? It would just be spiraling that out to that, right? And so, like, at any of these, we could just start going, I think, right? Okay, no, that does make it a little squirrelier, right? We will have to figure out how to do that. Cause it's got to be like embiggened just on one side at a time, right? So this would be like 7 big, right? Maybe the problem doing it from the corner would be hard, right? Like we go out by 2 more? Wait, no, it's supposed to be 7 on the outside, right? Four on the edge. But that's one problem, right? This feels like it's a little big now. We want it big, of course. That's the point. It is going to spiral out of control on the side of it, regardless, huh? 5, 6, 7. Oh, no, it's 2, 2, then 1, 1, right? Two, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But how do we get it back to the center part, right? After going out that far? That's a question. But otherwise, something like that for now, right? Which isn't the worst. We then get some area to do stuff around here with, right? But, like, how to look when we start coming back around, right? That's not the worst. We have to fill it in with grass to see how we really feel about it. Oh wait, then we got the problem, right? Where are we trying to go up in elevation, chat? Because then the new center point would be here, right? That's not the worst. Huh. It does feel a little odd to have new center point, of course, but that's what happened when you change the radius, right? The diameter. Well, they're interconnected, you know. Oh wait, that's not right, is it? Oops. Hee hee. I thought that felt a little off. Doing it out of dirt is a vibe. You know, I do like a good grass block, chat. It's very, very neutral, very vanilla, right? Yeah, we did that wrong. I can definitely get with this though. I'm okay with how I think of how they flow together, right? Even though it changes the center a little bit, that's gonna have to be a thing. Unless we go for like an elliptical center, right? Around the whole thing, but that'll be confusing, I think. This part gets a little squirrely here, of course. Elevation change! Then we're bringing it all the way over here? Or do we start a new elevation change for the new center point? That could be a thing, chat. Could be a pretty interesting thing, right? Dang it, center point, oops. Intriguing. Oh, wait, oh, this is not going up either. Oh. We messed that up, chat. I'm sorry. So this has to be elevated, right? If we're to stick with our own convention. Huh. That's strange. Getting up to there is a little rough. Hmm. Maybe it's something like that? Transitioning to a different radius is weird, huh? The middle part could always be a little different too, just because of how it has to go, right? Yeah, I think this is okay, chat. And so we'll just work on trying to branch the circle out, find a new center point, and then build the new stairs around that. Oh, heck yeah. Okay, so I mean that kind of works, right? Again, it does feel a little odd changing the width of everything in betwixt the build, but I think it's working out pretty well. All things considered, chat. I wonder if we should use dirt and coarse dirt next time. That way we can get some distinction between the blocks, but they will play together well. Opposed to this, which is a little awkward with just grass. Grass. We like grass blocks like we've been talking about, right? But like, good golly, chat. Okay. Oh, wait, that's just the circle, right? So theoretically, we're running, we jump, and we're going, and it gets a little bigger, and that's pretty cool, right? It'll be a little more like this for surely sure. Okay, chat. So we go from a 17 into a 25. And then we can probably shrink it up at a later point too, right, if we want? Which again will change the center point of the circle, right? And so we could do it back here, so that way it just kind of goes on that part again. Huh. That'd be interesting. There's also shrinking it some more in other spots, so we could try running it around again. 25, huh? Well, then we'd go back to 5, 2, 3. That'd be a little awkward, wouldn't it? Like, how many times do we want to change it up? Wow, 17 seems really small after doing that, huh? I mean, because if we did do it, it would be like, you know, an elliptical type of rotate. Are we okay with that? That could be neat. It will be really annoying to try to connect them up, though, won't it? We just need like a lot of fence in the middle, I think, to make sure villagers can't fall down. We also got to consider the workstation at this point, right? But yeah, okay. So we explored 25 into 17 seem pretty okay. Because like if we can do the transition here, right? Then we should be able to do the transition backwards too. Cool beans, chat. We will probably have to come back and do some more figuring out the shape next time. We'll, you know, sleep on this some, figure out what we're doing then. But for now, chat, thank you so much for joining us for another exciting stream from Amsterdam. Sorry, we're a little out of it today, not quite as energetic as we'd like to be. But for now, chat, take care, much love, and peace.